What is the most bullshit excuse you ever heard someone say? I did not think you had find out. Respect for honesty. You're still in coop though. I admire your honesty. Heck, I will even invite you to my house and let you date my sister. Stomach punch. That is the first I heard of it. When you had sent them an email about it, and they replied to the email, and they were in the meeting where it was discussed, and their inaction caused more work on you. Oh my god, something similar to this happened to me last semester. I am in a program at my college that places an emphasis on community service work. My position last semester was being a liaison for a group of students to volunteer at a particular organization that my school partners with. It is important to note that these students also needed to complete a set number of hours for one of their classes. This one girl never went to any of the meetings, never volunteered in a time at the site, and she never responded to any of my admittedly several emails. At the end of the semester, she had the audacity to email my supervisor saying that I purposely never sent her any emails and she had no idea about anything that was going on. She also lied about working on one of the projects for this particular organization, a Google site. I told my supervisor that I was happy to forward her the emails I sent the entire group that she was definitely on, as well as checking the edit history to see who edited the site and when she was. Of course, nowhere on the edit history. My supervisor apologized for wasting my time and thanked me. Haven't heard anything since, but I think she might have been kicked out of the program. I was not driving dangerously. I was swerving to the music, ducking moron who we fired for having numerous driving complaints. It is not often that I want to punch someone in the face because they're just that stupid. But that boy sure fit the bill. He probably knew he was gonna be fired anyway, so he came up with the dumbest, most sarcastic excuse he could think of, laughing my butt off. I am located on a different plane of existence than the rest of you, and I was required to swerve repeatedly in order to avoid colliding with demonic ghosts that were in the road. I am too busy, said by a co-worker multiple times a day who spends most of her workday on Facebook and texting. 99% of all I am busy variations are BS. This is true. Might be a little higher percentage though. I will rerun the figures after I get everything else done. I had to walk my dog, a friend who was moving away and did not show up for his own going away party. I once overslept through mine. Most embarrassing thing I ever did probably. Did you oversleep often? Sounds like something I would do back when I did not know I had sleep apnea. My ex's younger sister came home high off an edible and told her parents a Monster energy drink had reacted to her medication. Well, did it work? Yep. First generation Ecuadorians in the US don't know poop about drugs. I couldn't believe it. Laughing. My perfectly white friend came home drunk and throwing up and told his mom it was bad Taco Bell. But she reported it to the health department and they got several months of free taco coupons out of it. I have owned a small body shop for about 10 years. Customer: no way, this is way too high. Are you trying to rip me off? The owner would not be very happy about that. Can I talk to Joe? He retired about 10 years ago. I am the owner now. Customer: well, I have brought at least a dozen cars to Joe over the last 30 years and he would never write an estimate like this for me. Joe is my dad and I have worked here my whole life. I am sorry I do not remember you. If you had like, I could call him and you can talk to him. He just might be on his boat in Florida. Customer number: I would not want to bother him. You just look too young to be the owner here. Bingo. He was just trying to intimidate me. Jerk. Has happened several times over the years. Some people actually do know my dad. But if I do not recognize them, they probably do not know him very well at all. I work at my dad's company and he told me, if people come up to you claiming that they are a friend of mine but they do not recognize you, then they are not very good friends of mine. We are experiencing unusually high call volumes. All the time. It's not unusual. You're just too cheap to hire some more people. We are experiencing another call. I was just kidding. It was just a prank. Bro. Famous last words. Literally. Dude gets shot for breaking into a home and uses that as an excuse. So me and my now ex best friend planned a surprise party for her at my place, and I asked her if she wanted to come by and hang out with me. Text conversation went like this. Hey babe, wanna hang out at my place tonight? Her sorry babe, I am currently with her best friend, and we're about to go see a movie. Her best friend saw that, and she called her from my phone asking what she was actually doing. And we could hear the guy she was with saying, "Yeah, I should probably go." Needless to say, there was no party. Laughing. Thanks for the responses, guys. Cheered me up today, D. So the best friend and I are still really good friends, and that night we just chilled and we discussed life in general. I did not get with her, as she was with someone at the time. Also, no cake but definitely booze. She introduced me to some pretty good drinks, so that was a plus. She is a solid friend. It was not in the budget. Just lost 3 people on my team. I asked when we are going to replace them. Sorry, it is just not in the budget. Certainly sounds like we just got almost 200k a year in the black. They are just about to go even further under budget when they tell them I'm leaving. I am just an astrological sign, I cannot help it. An ex-GF used a similar excuse when she was being obnoxious. I am a woman and I am from insert city. What did you expect? Oh my god. An old co-worker would be a total bitch and blame it on being from Philadelphia. I have watched a documentary on this. In addition to Philadelphia being an unusually sunny city, everyone there is a terrible person or sick of the terrible people. Friendliness is not ranked too high. I am sorry I was talking to the girl like that. I was just stressed out about being a father. I needed a release. Sorry for cheating, you were just always busy with the baby. I didn't mean to say I love her. I was thinking of you the whole time. You were always busy with the baby. Maybe that's because it is supposed to go both ways. As a father to a near 2-year-old, I could not imagine having that kind of mindset. Being a parent is more than a full-time job. Whether or not both parents work is irrelevant. The working parent needs to help when they are not at work, or I do not consider it a healthy relationship. Maybe I was wrong, but Ty got heated. You stalked a woman for 3 weeks. Vandalized her car to the point that it was undrivable. Posted poorly photoshopped explicit images of her on Facebook. And publicly threatened to kill her preteen sons in a very specific manner. Because her acting suspicious of you cheating, which you got you heated. Damn. There is a lot there to unpack. My ex-girlfriend got drunk. Drove to my house at 2 a.m. Banged on the door. Punched me in the arm. Threatened to kill my new girlfriend. Spit on me. And then fell down in my front lawn screaming that I had punched her, which I had not, and threatened to call the police. The next day she said I'm just a fiery Latina. Bullet dodged there. Neo. He's the one. A co-worker called in and said that his basement flooded from the rain. The rain had happened 2 days earlier. He lives in a mobile home. The mobile home is bigger in the inside than on the outside. The trailer park TARDIS. Sorry. I cannot pay you back until next paycheck. Is that okay? It has been a rough month. Caesar box brand new parts for their gaming PC. I will bet. I see you met my former roommate. Mine was a mechanic. Owns a Ducati and a WRX. Constantly throwing parts at them. Could not pitch in for oil in the dead of winter. We were playing World of Warcraft some years ago. I do not even remember what dungeon we were in. But the tank was underperforming, or the healer was. And the DPS were dipshits and everything was going wrong. I will give the guy credit. He could have just left without a word. But instead our tank said there was a thunderstorm coming and he had a metal desk. Like having a metal desk in a storm would attract lightning or something. The humor of it actually took a while to sink in. To this day, our group refers to quitting as metal desking it. At my warehouse we have a sweeping schedule. Everyone is required to pick a day and a time, AM or PM, to sweep the floors, and nobody is excluded. 64-year-old boss man himself goes out there and sweeps every Monday and has for 20 years. New employee shows up for training. Tell him about the sweep schedule. He says, "Oh, I am not doing that poop. That is emasculating and I ain't no bitch. Do not we have some women or some foreigners for that?" Boss man overhears. "Listen son. If you cannot push a broom, You cannot do jack poop. Then he points at a sign above the exit. The sign reads, if you cannot do jack poop, get the duck out. Because I'm older and I said so. Or to smack the authority out of them. It's my first day, Homer Simpson. When I worked at Subway, a guy asked me if it was my first day because I had messed up his sub. Even though I had been working there for a month. I panicked and told him it was. He had no reply. I used "I'm new here" on my last day of a job that I had for over 2 years. I wish I could have pulled it off at my old job, but in a small town it is kinda hard for anyone but tourists to believe you. Asked my 7-year-old daughter why she mixed up a big bowl of flour and water and covered the kitchen with it. Her excuse: I forgot not to. At age 2-3. Cute. At age 7. You may have a problem. I cannot come into work today because I have an appointment at the bank. This was on the 4th of July and the bank was closed. It was the sperm bank. Beat me to it, pun not intended. I only hit on you so that you would come out to me. I am not actually gay, bro. A closeted jock in high school. He also asked for my Snapchat and would ask for nudes, but then told all his friends that he just wanted to add me as a joke. Sure. Zach, you should have seen the dude's face as I was sucking him off. He had no idea it was a prank. Totally got him good. It's just a wank. Bro. My brother was helping out at our buddy's restaurant and was asked to run out for some onions, of which he has only ever used white onions. My brother returned with a large bunch of green onions. When asked what happened, he replied with, "You know I am colorblind." Was walking in the commercial area of the city we lived in with my wife, newborn daughter, wife's sister and her daughter one summer day. Stopped in a frozen yogurt place and ordered some cones. Wife takes a lick of hers and complained it was sour. I take a look and it really was bad. I hand the cone back to the guy and tell him we're not buying it because it is bad. Clark, you certainly are going to pay for it. You took a look. Me, no I am not. It is sour. Clark, well, you should have figured it out before you ate it. Me, how the heck are you supposed to figure out it is bad without tasting it? Clark hands me my money. In New Zealand I worked and lived on a dairy farm with this bloke. Nice guy but not very smart. We basically sorted our trash into burnable and not burnable. Burn one pile and threw the other in the trash. We burn trash once every 3 weeks or so. At one point I realized that he is throwing cans and bottles in the trash that we're going to burn. So I tell him rather politely not do that. And he agrees. A few weeks pass and he does it again. Bins are literally right next to each other and he cannot even get it right. Once again I tell him. And you can see he knows he has messed up. Then suddenly, a light shines in his eyes as he thought he came up with a great excuse. Oh, I thought we were burning it first and then sorting it. It was our 4th year anniversary and I was expecting my cert to come when he reasoned out he cannot because he had not washed his underwears yet. Was there a 5th? We are still on. Guess I have got to live with the fact he has to wash his underwear on our anniversaries. I am sorry I am always so irritated with you. But my ex's name is my name, so I always associate you with her. What? Your name is same as a certain clown serial killer and I don't run away screaming when you come into the office. Pennywise. I mean, I was going for John Wayne Gacy. But that works too. Although, to be fair, I would run screaming from Pennywise. I used to manage a cafe. We had a worker who was just incredibly lazy and never wanted to be there every shift. Let us just call her B. She had an excuse for everything. It was like managing a toddler and I just wished my boss would fire her. You did twice as much work with her on shift. We had a new girl start who was a diabetic. One day we let her take an unplanned break because her blood sugar levels dropped, so we got her some lunch and let her go sit down. B witnessed all of this. And especially the fact we cannot argue with a medical condition, not that we cared. We were more concerned about keeping our workers safe and healthy. So of course next shift she suddenly declares she needs an emergency break because her potassium levels are low. Pulls out a banana and goes and takes a random break.